Adesso? Okay. Okay. I am Gabriele Falasca, a front-end developer in SourceSense, an Italian company, Mozilla Tech speaker and Rome.js member and so on. Okay. Before I talk about WebAssembly, I want to make you a recap of the internet history. Okay. Let's start. As you see, in the early 90s, the web pages was only static HTML content. After some years, the pages are become dynamic because the server can reach the request and elaborate the data and generate and generate a optimized page for determined request. Today, the server return only data in most cases, so return JSON, and the web page is built directly from the client. Okay, and on the client is JavaScript that have to build the page. Okay, JavaScript is the only language that can run in a browser. But JavaScript was designed for manage the user interaction with the DOM. Now it's evolved, but now you can write a complete web application, but is an hard work for the browser. Okay, and how to speed up our application? With a framework or with a pre-compilator that generates JavaScript very optimized. But there is a new step of the building web page. Can web page run at hardware native speed? Yes, with WebAssembly. WebAssembly is a new format for the compilation to the web. It's a sort of assembly that run in browser at native performance. Okay? Yeah, don't worry, because it's not a blob, a binary blob put in your browser from the network, but it's a sort of human readable bytecode, and is compiled at runtime. You can You can write your native code and compile it with LLVM WebAssembly target, and after JavaScript fetch this module and compile it at runtime. Okay. At this moment, WebAssembly is an MVP. Okay, and let's see the past milestone of WebAssembly and other history. Okay, in the April 2015, it started was born the community group of WebAssembly. In June, there is the public announcement of the technology. In March 2016, they are defined the core feature and how to implement this. In October, they are announced the browser preview of WebAssembly. And in March 2017, WebAssembly has reached the cross-browser consensus. In this moment, WebAssembly is from February 2018 was released the specification, the draft of the specification on 1.0 release. Okay, but is a draft, is frequently updated, and last update is the day before yesterday, so it's very recent. Okay, this draft defines the specification about the core, the JavaScript interface, and the web API. Okay, and for each of these parts, we can have a separate talk because are very long and complex to speech. Okay, the core specification defines rules about syntax and naming convention, building, validation, and execution, and define the standard of the binary format, the types and the values of the technology. The JavaScript API defines rules about the interactions between WebAssembly modules. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, sorry. The JavaScript API defines the rules about the interactions between WebAssembly modules and JavaScript, how to store data and passing data between these two actors, and the sandboxing, because of WebAssembly modules were run in a sandbox and environment for obvious security reasons. Okay? And the web API defines rules about the module compilation, the module instantiation, and about interaction between the DOM and the modules. Okay? Oh, let's see some resources. Okay? There are some resources of for using WebAssembly. Let's start with a demo. Okay, this is an OpenGL demo. Don't see. Okay. Okay, this is a game written in OpenGL, compiled in WebAssembly. So the compilation is a runtime. Okay, and now we have to play with it. So I don't. This for demonstrate the power of. Okay, is just for demo. This is a great tool where you can write your code in C++, and it shows all the steps for compile it in from C to assembly, passing from the WASM part. Okay, if I compile this simple function, okay, the mid tab is the format that arrive to the browser, and after there is the compiled assembly. Another tool is the WebAssembly Studio, an online IDE for making things, for experimenting with WebAssembly. I tried to build something, but don't work. It's a beta version and a little bit bugged. Okay. Okay, if you have some question, because
Thank you so much. So, okay, it's over there. Thank you. I need to ask you. Thank you.
Cheers. Hi. Can I ask what's the status of DOM manipulation in WebAssembly? Because that's the thing that's preventing us from just cutting out JavaScript altogether at the moment, I think. Thanks.
I want to inform all of you that this afternoon at 4:40 p.m. We have another talk about WebAssembly and Rust. So if someone of you want to continue to follow these topics, they can. Okay, any other question for Gabriele? Yes.
Is the IDE we're seeing right now actually written in WebAssembly? Out of curiosity. The IDE that we're seeing right now, has it been written in WebAssembly? You can, okay, well.
Yeah. Another question? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for the talk. The WebAssembly standard is supported by a lot of major companies. What about toolings, for example, mscripting? Who is supporting it, and what is the state of mscripting? Or probably any roadmap? Thank you. I mean, any roadmap for these tools.
Thank you so much. Any other question? Oh, sorry. Any other question? Okay, yes.
Hey, can we use a GPU with a WebAssembly?
Any other question? Yeah, sorry.
So, what is being actually built with WebAssembly other than games? What are people using it for other than building games?
There is an MVP and a release, but can be used for making complex operations directly in the browser, or other use cases, but or for compiling the existing program into the browser directly.
Any other question? Yes.
Quick question about the editor. Is that VS Code or Monaco? Is that VS Code or Monaco that's based on?
I think it's Monaco Edit. Is the web version of VS Code.
Any other question? No, I have one question. Sorry. But if I want to create DLL, for example, for the elaborating audio signal. Okay. Okay. I can. Okay. Any other question for Gabriele? No? Okay. Thank you so much, Gabriele. Thank you, all of you. So we will restart at 2:10.